Okay. Yeah, this class. Please put yourself on mute. Okay. This class is now on recording, and we are officially starting today's or tonight's session. So we are going to start from project management. As you know, we have two courses or two modules in this program. We have project management, we have business analysis, and we plan to start from project management. So immediately we finish project management, we'll start business analysis. So another thing I want us to, understand is that before, what I do is that after the program, after the training, both in project management and business analysis, we start our placement or work experience or internship where we work on various projects. But this time around, we are going to start the projects. We've already started the work placement, so we have to start the live project immediately as well. As we are progressing in our training, we'll equally be progressing in our internship. The reason is that the time we have is not enough to cover, for us to cover two live projects. And the plan is for us to cover at least two live projects that can go to your CV and to your become your portfolio for some of us looking for work in Upwork and other related areas. So plan to get two viable portfolios for you. So that is it. So that is what we are going to be doing. So within the week, the training is not going on. We are going to be prepping our project environment. So it requires onboarding, and you'll be required to do some activities. So let's get started with tonight's session. Is going to be introduction to project management. We'll have to start from the introduction, from the basic, for us to understand what project management is and various roles involved in project management. So I will start sharing my screen, and after the session, and if you have any question, I can then take your questions. So, like I said earlier, it's going to be an overview of project management, its significance in various industries, key concepts, and rules in project management. That is what we plan to achieve this night. By the time we finish this session, we should be able to understand project management, its significance, and then understand various roles exist in project management. So in project management, is not only project manager, that there are so many other roles. So, but let's start from the definition. This definition is a general definition. So project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. It involves initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling project activities to achieve specific goals within defined three constraints. These three constraints is very key. I want us to understand the three constraints that project management revolves around. As a project manager, this is the ball where your eyes should be on that ball at all times. These constraints are timeline, scope, and budget. These are the three constraints of project management. As a project manager, you should be looking at the timeline. Every project must have a duration, a timeline. That is where a lot of people struggle. A lot of project managers struggle. If you do not plan your project and stick to your time, it's very, very easy for you to derail. And we call it project scope creep when you derail from any of these constraints. Then we have scope. Scope are the areas. Where do you need to cover in this project? You must identify the areas that you need to cover. If you do not identify the scope, it's very possible you will go out of scope. And the third constraint is the budget. You must be a very good financial manager. If you have a budget, you must plan your budget very well. So these are the three constraints in project management, which that is the key. Everything you are doing is try to protect these three constraints. That's all about project management. If you understand how to manage these three constraints within projects as a project manager, that is it. Everything we are trying to understand, we are trying to learn, we are trying to upskill, is just to help us get adapted and be able to maneuver these three constraints: timeline, scope, and budget. Okay, let's understand the importance of project management. Project management plays a crucial role in ensuring the successful delivery of projects across various industries. It helps industries, it helps organizations to achieve their goals by one, ensuring project goals are clearly defined and aligned with organizational objectives. Every project, as a good project manager, you must understand the project goal, the project objective, and then understand the organizational goal, making sure that the project goals align with the organizational objectives. Another key objective of a good project management within the organization is optimizing the allocation of resources to maximize efficiency and minimize costs. Once you have a good project manager, it's going to be very easy to allocate resources very well. Resource allocation is one thing that you need to understand as a project manager. Once you allocate your resources very well, it's going to be very difficult for you to go above your budget. Facilitating effective communication and collaboration among key stakeholders is very, very key. This is where the problem started, most of the problem you are going to face. If you don't know how to communicate with stakeholders, if you don't know how to manage stakeholders, it's not easy. Stakeholders are the most difficult people to manage when you are handling a project. And it's very easy for the project to, hit the rock if you eventually encounter difficult stakeholders. But with good project management skills, you should be able to understand how to perform good stakeholder analysis and draft a communication plan to manage your stakeholders very well. So these are some of the things we are going to discuss in details. Mitigating risk, addressing challenges proactively to minimize disruption. Risk is the challenges, issues that is about to happen. If you don't take care of them, they are going to disrupt the project or derail the project or hurt your project. So as a good project manager, you must understand how to capture risk, understand how to identify risk, and then create a mitigation strategy or risk plan. That is where project management comes handy. So anybody can call him or herself a project manager. But what makes you a professional project manager is that you know how to manage risk. Risk is not just managing risk. It's not by just talking about it. There is various ways to capture risk, identify risk. We have so many strategies like RAID. We use RAID management, RAID log. We use risk register. There are so many areas or so many strategies you can use to capture and manage your risk. These are some of the things we are going to look into in details. Then provide a structured approach to project execution, leading to improved project outcome and customer satisfaction. Most of the projects we're handling is to satisfy our customer. We have different project management methodologies. All these methodologies is just to provide us with a structured approach to manage projects. Whether we are using agile approach, we are using waterfall approach, or extreme programming, whichever way is just to give us a good guide. That is structured approach for us to manage projects. So this is the key importance of project management in an organization. That's why so many organizations are looking for professional project manager. When we talk about professional project manager, these are people that are well trained, understand what the industry wants. Anybody can come and say, I'm a project manager, but what distinguishes you from others is this applying key methodologies, key techniques that help you to navigate the complexities of project management. Project management is very complex if you are not well trained. And that is the reason why we just don't train. We give you practical environment to exhibit what you learn, and then monitor you, making sure that you really getting it. So let's look at the key concepts and terminologies. In project management, there are some concepts or some terminologies you will be meeting very often. And it's time for you to get acquainted with all these key terminologies. Some of the key terminologies you need to get at this point is the word project. What is this project? We are talking about project management. But before you understand projects management very well, you need to understand the word project. What is project? A project is a temporary endeavor undertaking to create a unique product, service, or result. It's temporal. What I mean temporal is that no project lasts forever. It's for a duration, a period of time. Any project that is not temporal is not a project. A project must be temporal. And that is why the timeline is important. If you know the timeline, that timeline is important because that project is meant to achieve a purpose. I'll give you a clear example why timeline is important. I'm trying to justify this temporal here for you to understand. You need to understand that why that word temporal is important. If you have an event that will take place at a particular period of time, you know that that event, if it's 5 days event, after 5 days, no matter how skillful, no matter how beautiful your plan for that project is no longer valid because the event timeline has elapsed. So you must know how to stick to plan. If you are a wedding planner planning for a wedding that will happen on Saturday, you know that after Saturday, on Sunday, that your beautiful plan is no longer valid. So you have to respect the time, the duration in project is very, very important. Then another key terminology here is project management. If you come to understand the project, then the project, how do you manage this particular term called project? Is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. When we talk about management, there are so many skills, like we have stakeholder management, stakeholder analysis, we have risk management, we have financial management, budgeting and control, we have scheduling. These are various techniques that will help you to navigate the complexities of and uncertainties in project management. Project is, we have a lot of uncertainties in projects, and that's why we need to apply various skills like risk management. You might be managing, let's say for instance, when the COVID-19 is about to happen, there's a lot of projects going on, outdoor projects going on. When they are planning this project, they didn't know that this kind of pandemic is going to happen. But all of a sudden, pandemic happened. And what do? If you are a very good project manager, you should be able to find a way to address such risk. So that is why project management is very important. We are going to look into various approaches. So for this time, it's just for us to understand these key terms. We've spoken about triple constraint. Triple constraint is important. I've said it before, but we'll talk about it again. This triple constraint, we'll talk about the time, we'll talk about the cost, we'll talk about the scope. You need to understand these three constraints. Once you get these three constraints under control, you are in charge of your project. If you get your time under control, you are in charge of your project. If you have good financial management, good budgeting implementation, you have your project under control. If you can identify the main scope within your project, it's important. A scope will help you to draw a boundary, know your boundary, and work within your boundary. It's very, very important. That is project. Every project has a boundary. When you talk about boundary, we talk about scope. Once you go outside that boundary, you are bound to find yourself in one problem or the other. It's just like in a country, every country has got a boundary. You can't just cross another country's boundary without permit. So just like your project, before you can cross The project boundary, you must get a reason. Why are you crossing that boundary? That is the scope. It's very important. So these are the three things you should keep your eyes open in a project. And as a young project manager, you should keep your eyes very open to understand these three constraints and various techniques around these three constraints to manage these three constraints very well. Then we'll have another big terminology here that you continue to hear as long as you are in this industry, which you are trying to step in. All the time you will be hearing this word stakeholder. Stakeholder this, stakeholder that, stakeholder that. You continue to hear as long as you are managing projects, you have to love this word stakeholder. You need to like them. You cannot do without stakeholders in projects. So we have different types of stakeholders, but we're not gonna talk about difference. We have external stakeholders, we have internal stakeholders in the project. And you have to try to understand them very well. You know, that is what we do during stakeholder analysis. Analysis is to identify the various stakeholders involved, identify them, and then identify their expectations. These people are very, very important. Anybody that have interest within that project, whether the project is affecting the person or the person is affecting the project, the person is a stakeholder. Whether it is a customer, customers are stakeholders. So, but we'll have time to understand stakeholder management very well. And then, last but not the least, among the key concepts and terminologies is the project manager. Project manager, you are the project manager in the making. So, who are these project managers? They are the project leaders. The individual responsible for leading the project team and ensuring the successful delivery of the project objective. So that is the stakeholder. You are the pilot. You are the captain of that project. And what you say is go, you must be very influential. You must have that leadership skill. As a project manager, you are a leader. Every country have a project manager. The project manager of every country is the president. The president of Nigeria is a project, Nigeria is a project. And that project manager is the president. If we have a bad president, the whole country will start suffering, everything will start suffering. If we have a good project manager as a president, everything will be in place. So they are the leaders, very influential. So that is the project manager, and that is what you have chosen or decided to become today. You decided to become a leader. So this course is a leadership training in project to help you become an effective leader in project delivery. So that is it. We've come to understand the concept, key terminologies about project management. Then let's understand various roles exist in project management. When we talk about project delivery, we'll have key roles. I'm not talking about career roles. We're talking about, when we talk about a project, who are involved in that project. So we're going to look at that now. We have three major people involved, three major roles, four major key roles involved. Number one is the leader, and that leader is the project manager. The leader of the project is responsible for overall planning, execution, and delivery. you must understand how to plan, execute, and deliver a top-notch project. Then we'll have project team members. You know, a project manager, you cannot work in isolation. You can't be a lone ranger, no matter how you want to do it. You know, you cannot be a lone ranger. You know, how I do is that if you disturb my class, I will remove you in order to protect others. So, because this is very important. If it's not so important to you, it's important to others. I understand that so many of us, we have children around, but if you are very, very, this is an executive class. So you shouldn't allow maybe a little child to be playing around with your device, putting it on. So this can be what can cause you to put it on off, and somebody will come out. So if you are in that position, I wouldn't mind removing you.
Are you even sure she's even around? She just put it on and walked up.
I am in this sense. I'm going to warn you for the last time.
It's not coming from me.
You are the I'm the one. You are the person that I'm hearing from.
I'm just saying the person the noise is coming from is not even hearing, because she's left this thing on and went out. I just put on my this thing now, or just saying about talking about it.
Okay.
The noise is coming from Stella, enrollment.
Okay. Sorry about that. Please, no more distraction. Okay. We're back on track. We're now trying to understand the various roles involved, and we've spoken about the project manager. We know that project manager is the leader that is responsible for overall planning, execution, and delivery. Then we'll have team members. Team members are other cross-functional people, like professionals, like business analysts, developers, quality assurance experts. These are various other people that will contribute in this project. They are individuals with specific skills and expertise assigned to work on various project tasks. So these are the team members. These are other various roles involved. We call it project team member. Then we'll have stakeholders. Like I said, stakeholders, we'll have a lot of stakeholders. Stakeholders are individuals or group affected by the project or with an interest in the project outcome, such as client, sponsor, and end users. We have so many stakeholders. But before we start looking, we try to classify stakeholders into two: external stakeholders and internal stakeholders. External stakeholders are people outside the organization. And internal stakeholders are those stakeholders within the organization. If you are working in a project, you see local council authorities, various government agencies. These can become the external stakeholders. If you are working in a project, we have internal stakeholders like the accountants, procurement managers, project sponsors, within various units of the organization. If you are, for instance, if you are working, trying to implement a CRM system, this CRM system will affect mainly people within the sales and marketing department. So people within the sales and marketing, like the sales manager, sales reps, marketing manager, becomes internal stakeholders, because these are the people that are going to be affected. So we have end users. End users are the people using the outcome of that particular product you are creating or services you are creating. They are the end users. At times, some of the end users will be within the organization. Like if you are working on CRM system, you find out that the end users can be the people that are going to use the CRM system to do their daily job. You know, but we still have customers like using a nearer application or a nearer social media. You find out that outsiders can come and register and start using our app. These are customers, you know, they are still stakeholders. So these are various people in projects who want to understand, manage them very well, and make sure that they are satisfied. That is, most of the time, is satisfaction, trying to bring satisfaction to customers or to the end users. Then we'll have sponsors. Although the sponsor still comes into the word stakeholders, but we want to distinguish it from that other stakeholders because of the importance. They are the people or group of people that provide financial resources and support for the project. So in most cases, they are the people that initiate that project. The project most of the time is their brainchild. They conceive it and they want it to be implemented because of one reason or the other. For you, becoming project manager is to help them realize these objectives. So you can see a sales manager or a finance and account manager that's struggling within their department. They want a very good CRM system that will help them to gain efficiency in the way they work, improve their workflows, and to do that, they need to implement CRM system. So to this effect, the sales manager becomes the sponsor. So it's the duty of the sales manager to try to convince the management to release funding for that particular project. You see, they are providing financial resources. It doesn't mean that it's from their pocket, but they work towards releasing this money, making sure that this money of financial is available for implementation of this project. So these are the various rules that do exist within the project management. Yeah, I think we've duly captured all the roles here. Then we have professional career roles in project management. So now for all of us here looking at upskilling, so many of us are coming from different backgrounds. We have lawyers here, we have medical doctors, we have accountants, we have pharmacists, we have teachers, we have various people from nurses, different backgrounds that are here. And we want to come into project management. You know, there are so many roles that do exist in project management that is not just project manager. So this is where this professional career roles involved. So with this training, you can fit into any of these roles. So it's not only the project manager that you can become once we finish this boot camp. You can become project manager, or you can become or pursue other roles within this project management. So let's look at all the roles available here. We're starting from the project manager, because in project management, project manager is the leader of every project. So everything might be doing, you might be working towards becoming a project manager, or every other role will help you to become a project manager. Even if you become a project manager, you can become senior project manager or even program manager, But what we are doing here is program manager is out of the scope, because program manager is someone who manages different projects at the same time. But for now, we're trying to understand how to even manage one project, because managing one project is not easy, But if you understand how to manage a project very well, then it's going to be easy for you to manage so many projects at a go. Like, I manage so many projects. It's just for me to plan my work, prioritize my work, and know my capacity. So let's look at project manager within the professional career. The project manager is responsible for overseeing the entire project life cycle from initiation to closure, ensuring that project objectives are met on time, within budget, and according to quality standard. The lead team these are the things they do here. They lead the team, develop project plans, allocate resources, manage risk, and communicate with stakeholders. These are the key fundamental duties of a project manager. That is what we are going to be doing, managing all these or undertaking these responsibilities. But we have other roles like project coordinator. Project coordinator is like an assistant project manager. The project coordinator assists the project manager in coordinating project activities, managing schedules, tracking progress, and communicating with team members and stakeholders. They may also be responsible for administrative tasks such as documentation and reporting. When we have a big project, then there will be need for people like project coordinator, because a project manager is a big role. So we have project coordinators assisting the project manager. So then we have project scheduler and planner. In large projects, we have all these people. The project scheduler or planner is more like a project coordinator. Is responsible for developing and maintaining project schedule, timeline, and milestone, and using softwares or tools like Microsoft Project, Primavera PCs, and so many others. So they are mainly just to schedule various activities, project activities using the software. Like I said, the project manager is a big role, So I remember the days we were working on this Crossrail project here in London. It's a very massive project. We have one project manager, but we have so many project coordinators, we have so many project planners, we have so many schedulers working under that project, because it's a very big project. Very, very big project. So, and you can't have two project managers. It is going to bring conflict. So in a large project, what you do is either you break it down into various smaller projects, or you have one big project manager and then have a lot of project coordinators, project planners that will be assist, because it's not easy to be a project manager in a very large project like that. So that's why it's important. If you have big projects, then it depends on the planning. Some people will break the whole project down further, depending on what you try to achieve. But in a situation where they don't want to do it, then you have so many support roles that assist the project manager. And these are the various support roles like project coordinator. Project coordinator is more like administrative work, interfacing with stakeholders on behalf of the project manager. But project schedulers and planners are mainly working within the softwares, using softwares to do scheduling, breaking activities down, and planning for various activities using project management software like Microsoft Projects, Primavera, Project Labor. There are so many of them. We are going to use Project Labor during this project. So this is various roles. Then we have business analyst. Business analyst is a role in project management. You can call it, here is a very big role in project management. So they always work with the project managers, but they are not project managers, and they are not like project support. Business analysis on its own, they are like business analysts and project managers, like a husband or wife. They work together a lot. In so many cases, companies these days are preferring to use business analysts. And so many business analysts are doing a hybrid role. If you're a good business analyst, then you must have an excellent project management skills. Like me, I've been working I've worked as a project manager, currently as a business analyst, but I prefer working as a business analyst. So many projects I lead, I lead as a business analyst. So business analysts work closely with stakeholders to identify project requirements, gather and analyze data, develop business cases, project charter, translate business need into projects, objectives, scopes, and deliverables, and ensure alignment with organizational goals and objectives. So when we have a good business analyst, it makes the job so smooth for the project manager. I mean, the project manager will be more like, directing, controlling, supervising. That is, if we have a good business manager that does most of the things they're supposed to do. Then we have risk manager. Risk manager is the duty of a project manager, but in a very complex project or large project where there is need for a lot of support role to support project manager, you can carve out risk manager to work on. Risk is not something to play around. So it's important. If a project manager is so busy, it's very important to carve out this niche called risk manager. Somebody that will be, the duty will just be to keep identifying the risk and developing mitigation strategies for the risk. So the risk manager identifies, assesses, and manages risk throughout the project life cycle. Develop risk management plan, strategies, mitigation measures to minimize the impact of potential threats and uncertainties on project success. They analyze the risk factors, prioritize risk, and monitor risk triggers to implement timely intervention. You can see they have a lot to do. But this is what a project manager does when there is. So you see a project manager have a lot to do. So many projects you see project manager doing this scheduling job, doing this risk manager job, doing this project coordinator job, and some equally. So you see a lot of things they do. We have another role called quality assurance manager. In a smaller project, a business analyst can act as a quality assurance manager. But when there is the project is complex and the organization is big, there is need to carve out quality assurance manager office. They are the people that try to look at standard, the quality of the project output. Every deliverable in a project must be measured against the standard. You must have acceptance criteria. What is the standard? You can't just produce something and say this is it. Even if you go to construction site where project is going on, before they can use a cement or a block, that block must be tested to understand this, whether the block meets the standard. So many of the time we look at the quantity of sand and the quantity of cement and even the quantity of stone in terms of concreting. So somebody must always look at this standard. It's very, very important, more especially in construction site, to have someone who works as a quality assurance manager. In a situation, we've seen so many cases where you see after a building start collapsing. Why? Because there is no quality measure. It seems such environment, they are saving money, they don't want to hire the right professional. So many of these sites, you see somebody who does not have any experience in project management, they just think that you can just start building a house. So it's important to have quality assurance manager if the project manager have got a lot, or if the project manager is so busy. Or in this case, like I said, business analysts can do that. If the project manager is so, it's some of the things the business analysts do. In software development, we call this quality assurance manager, we call them testers. And so many software development projects, business analysts do the testing. Then we have change management specialists. So change management specialists, most of the projects we handle in the organization is about change. Change is trying to bring new things, bring new innovation to the organization, new way of working, introducing different software, different technologies. This is what we call change. And when we are bringing such changes, there's what we call resistance to change. You are trying to tell people, leave your comfort zone, leave your safe comfort zone. Somebody in an organization might be working with a particular software and took time to study that software very well. You see, some people have been working in a particular environment, working on a particular process using one software for 20 years. And you, after doing this boot camp, the organization will just hire you and you come and start doing your analysis. After your requirement analysis, you start recommending them. And you people are not using the right CRM system. And because of that, you need to start. So is new change, new technologies. This is what we call change. People need to have to start learning new things. And people don't like learning new things. Some people are getting old. Their brain are no longer active. They have paid their dues within the organization. So if you come and say, "Who is this small boy? You just came in to start telling us what to do." We don't want it. We are happy where we are. As a matter of fact, we've been using Excel sheet to capture, manage our finance department, capture everything. You are telling us that we need to implement Dynamics 365 ERP. For what? It's costly. We don't have that kind of money. So this is what we call resistance to change. They will do everything to make sure that that project does not hold. To have change managers or change management specialists in an environment where we have big organization or big projects coming up, we have dedicated people called change managers. These are duties of business analysts where there is no change managers. You have to start working on the stakeholders, convincing them, sensitization, trying to sell the change. That's what you do. You sell the change to the stakeholders, trying to let them understand the importance of the new technology, the new solution you are bringing, how it's going to help them. Like so many people now, once you come to you want to automate system, you want to do this AI, once they hear AI, everybody say, no, it's come to take our job. But if you're a good change manager, you tell them that AI will not take your job. AI will help you to work better, bring better results, improve your quality of output. These are what you see. So that is the work of a change manager. So they are the specialists, change management specialists facilitate organizational change, initiate related to organizational change initiative related to project implementation by assessing the change impact, developing change management plans, and engaging stakeholders to ensure smooth transition. They communicate change objectives, address resistance, and support stakeholders in adopting new processes. So part of what you do is to train, assure them smooth transition, provide quality training to help them transit to the new change. Then we'll have another powerful role called Project Management Office, PMO. Some people will mistake project management office or project management officers to project managers. No, we have a role called project management officer, and they administer the projects. They are the administrators within the project management office. Project management office is like a department overseeing all the projects going on. And this department, they are in charge of documenting various templates to use, principles, guidelines, adopting methodologies that will be used within the organization. And not only that, they monitor what's going on within various projects to make sure that the project managers comply with the various regulations within the organizational project management. So they oversee the activities of project management. There are not various projects going on. The PMO managers oversees the project management office, which provide governance, support, and oversight for project management practice and standard within an organization. They establish and maintain project management methodologies, tools, and processes, and provide guidance and support to project managers and team to ensure consistency and alignment with organizational goals and objectives. So that is their own role. They are like the police of the project manager. The police project manager monitor what they do, kind of compliance. They are the regulatory compliance officers within the project management office. So these are various roles you can choose to pursue with this boot camp. So by the time you finish this boot camp, you should be positioning yourself to take opportunities within these various roles. So it's not just when you finish only project manager. No, there are so many of them, so many things you can be. So there's opportunity. And someone was telling me, somebody said that the project management office is a project manager or career and business analyst career is saturated. Well, people can, I say, who said that? If somebody talk about it, I listened to a video. People create content. People can just come and, like you too, you can come and start telling people this is content. Nobody can stop you from uploading your video. So try to understand some of the things you watch, so that, and so many people who might want to pursue a career in project management and business analysis, after watching such video, they will become biased and they will not pursue their dream again, because the project management career is endless and it can never be saturated. It can never be saturated because we are having more technologies coming in. The more the technologies come, the more the projects. Organizations are moving from on-premises to on-cloud. This is new technology. You can use even the technology you are using today. Find out that there is another technology, the one you are using, they do not have enough artificial intelligence and automation system. And your competitors are using this. You have to abandon the one you are using for that. And not only that, even the technologies you've acquired, they need regular maintenance, updates. These are projects going on. You find out that the one you are using, you need to integrate it with another system. You need to integrate your system with government system. You need to, that's so many, in order to share information. You find out so many banks, they need to integrate their system to CBN system. They need to integrate their system with other bank system. So all this integration and, all these things are projects. And who are managing them? Project managers. Countless opportunities. I'm just talking about even within this little IT environment. Even if you go to cybersecurity will have so many projects in cybersecurity, threats, this and that. Who project managers? They manage all these projects. Okay, we move away from even the IT, go to construction industries. There is building going on. Construction will have civil engineering, construction will have mechanical engineering, construction, new cars. They are developing, very soon they'll start developing AI cars and things and that. Who are managing all these various projects? Project manager. So opportunities of a project manager, even in sales and marketing, who plans all these sales activities, marketing activities? Project managers. And somebody is telling you that even in hospital, you don't have a special place called your industry. You don't have industry. You are in every industry. You are in telecoms. You are in banking. You are in healthcare. You are in education. Today you can see what is going on. Almost everything we know in education is going away. We need a new system of educational infrastructure, but the way we learn and the content we consume, all of them need to change because they are all obsolete. Who need to drive that change? Business analyst and the project manager. So that is it. So many opportunities. So that is various roles involved. So For more resources, we have PMI Institute. There's a lot of resources there, even in their website. We have International Project Management Association. There's a lot of blog resources. And then we have Project Management Body of Knowledge from PMI. Is a very good book to read. Some of all these things are good. You keep them when you are building a new career. You must start picking some, books to read as well. But what we are doing here is we are kind of purified skills. When you are reading so many of these books, you research for knowledge. Most of the knowledge you gather from it, you try to filter them. But what we are providing here is filtered knowledge, filtered skill, handy skills as it is happening in the industry. So that is the way you might see my pattern of teaching might be different from others. Yes, I follow the industrial trend. What will get you to the organization, to get the dream job as quickly as possible? Because organizations these days, they don't joke. They are no longer interested in so many. They want you to do it. They are paying you to do it. They are not paying you for the amount of certificate you have. So they pay you to do something and they want to make sure that you do it. So conclusively on this topic, project management is a critical discipline that drives success in organization across industry. By understanding its fundamental key concepts and rules, you are better equipped to navigate the complexities of project execution and deliver successful outcome. So when we talk about complexities of project execution, project environment is complex. If you are just coming in as a novice, you are not prepared, if you don't have experience, if you have not really managed a project, it's very complex. And that's why we are working hard to make sure that by the time you finish, you must have executed at least 2 powerful projects. I believe in practical. So many of us might think you cannot be a project manager by just listening to me. If you like, listen to this video I'm recording, I'm going to post very soon. Listen for it and listen and listen and listen. If you do not go out and practice, you cannot be a good footballer by watching footballers in TV. It's not going to happen. If you want to be a good footballer, you must go to the pitch and do it. You find out that your leg will not touch the ball for the 90 minutes. It's not easy. So that's why we provide practical for you to do it practical. If you see Anthony Joshua, the way they do it in ring boxing, and you say Anthony Joshua is he doesn't have good leg work, this and that, go to gym and try to press up for 5 times. You find then that is when you start appreciating people like Anthony Joshua for what they do. So the point I'm making is that the project environment is complex, and that's why we have to get it by doing it practical. So thank you. We are going to stop here for tonight. I'm going to give you people like 15 minutes to ask questions. I have another class by 8:30. So that is so this time is just for you to ask questions, and then if I don't capture your question, don't worry. You can we have a forum within our course portal where you can post various questions. You can even come directly to my and ask me questions. I respond to everybody's question challenges as quickly as I can. So next time we'll try to understand the project management life cycle. That's what we're going to be doing next time. So But let's see if your level of understanding on this basic introduction, which help us to understand project management and various roles that do exist even within the project execution and within the career paths. Okay, like I said, once it's 15 minutes past 8, we're going to be shutting this class down. So we have Hope, Ada. Please be fast so that we can talk to as many people as we can.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Okay,
evening.
my question is, at the end of any project, who do you submit your project to? Is it to the stakeholders or to the PMOs?
No, the PMO would provide standard on how you do your work. It's not the the person you submit your deliverables. We have senior project managers or program managers. Most of the project managers will work under program manager. But depending on the organizational structure, the sponsor or the client is just, you might not have good experience to review your work, but you continue to have meeting with them to update them on what is going on. But we are talking about in terms of job hierarchy, whom you should work or whom you work under is the program manager. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Andrew, Emeka.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Sorry, my question has been, in part, indirectly answered.
Okay.
So no need. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. And Chidera.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, at the course of you explaining stakeholders, you said that any mistake in communication or in dealing with them might mess up the whole project. Is there a specific way we should communicate with them or deal with any crisis that might arise with the stakeholders?
Yes, we have a specific way of dealing with stakeholders, and that's what we have. Stakeholder analysis. When you do conduct stakeholder analysis, we'll have a big topic called stakeholder analysis where we'll talk. But because of this question, I would say try to answer your question. So we'll have stakeholder analysis. During stakeholder analysis, there is a big document. We start creating document, identifying different stakeholders involved, various communication method. The way you communicate to stakeholder A might not be the way you communicate to stakeholder B. So you must tailor every stakeholder. Depending on the stakeholder, will determine the kind of communication management you use to manage them. We have high influence stakeholder, we have low influence stakeholder. We have high interest stakeholder, we have low interest stakeholder. The way you handle low interest stakeholder is different the way you manage high interest. And the way you manage high influence stakeholder will be different from the way you manage low. For instance, a high influence stakeholder in an organization, in a project, could be using a construction environment health and safety officer. They are regulatory bodies. If you don't manage them well, they have the right to come to the site and shut down the site. So you must understand what they need and give it to them. And there's other stakeholders like team players working with you. Some of them like laborers, the electricians. So many of them, they don't care about the timeline of that project. As a matter of fact, a project that's supposed to last for 6 months, electricians And technicians will want that project to last for 2 years because they want a steady place they are going to work. So that's why you need to carry out stakeholder analysis from the beginning to understand the people you are dealing and their specifics, their peculiarities. They have different features, and then you give everybody what they want. You cannot use one approach to manage different stakeholders. And once you are not getting it right with the influential stakeholders, like I use health and safety people, they will come to your site, they will shut it down. For 1 month, nothing is going there for you to get compliance. And various government agencies, you are doing banking related or financial related projects. There are regulatory bodies like CBN. If you are trying to develop, for instance, if you are trying to develop a digital banking, if you are implementing a digital banking, if you don't know the regulations, they don't even know you. They don't care about you. They will come and shut your project down. It doesn't matter the amount of money you spend. So these are various stakeholders involved, but we are not dealing stakeholder management or analysis tonight. If I start elaborating what is involved in it's going to take another 1 hour. So just take it this way.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, we have Kenneth Obonna. Okay, we have for Alex. Okay, we have Karimot Jagun.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I think my first question is, do we get access to the presentation you used this night, or what do we have access to?
If you go to course portal, everything is there. We'll have a note. I paste their note in course portal where everything is there, both the videos and everything is there. You see it.
Okay, sir. Then second question is, when we started, you talked about starting our internship sooner than we earlier projected. So
Yes.
my concern now is, how do we as individuals get to decide that, okay, I really want to go into project management or business analysis? Because what we planned was that within the 1 month, we would have actually, by going through the course, we would have determined that, okay, I think this is where my strength lies and this is what I can. But since we won't be waiting till that, how do we?
The first project we are going to start is a project manager that doesn't require business analyst input so much. So whether you're going to be a project manager, you are going to be a business analyst, you still have to do that. So it doesn't require a lot of requirement gathering and analysis. So that's we are going to start from there. So by the time we are finishing that, and then we might be rounding up with our training, that is what we are going to start the project that will require like software implementation. That one will require some people will really act as a business analyst and other people will act as a project manager. By then, you must have explored yourself, your fantasies, what you can do and what you cannot, your limitation and your strengths, your weaknesses, and be able to make decisions. But the first project is not gonna be highly software prone, but the second one is going to be software implementation where you must have to measure. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. It is. Thank you, sir.
All right. So we have Tricia, and like I said, after Tricia, because I said have another class, because if I want to start answering the whole question, the class is large. It might take another 2 hours to address the whole question. But if you still confused, you can chat me up send whatever. So when we take Trisha David, then we can call it a night.
All right. Good evening, sir. Thank you for the class. What I want to say, I'm just being curious. There's a company I worked for before, and they put up a post that they needed an agile Scrum Master. So my concern now is, why not just say they needed a project management? Why an agile Scrum Master? Because I'm feeling, doesn't mean that anybody, somebody can say he's an agile Scrum Master, and at the same time, if the person is not well equipped to do these things, like what we got from the training today.
A Scrum Master is not a project manager. We have different types of project management approach or project management methodologies. The first methodology that we are coming to project management methodology. So there's time we treat all this thing for you to understand all this. We've just done introduction. So it's just like you being faster than, but I'm still going to talk about it. So we have different types of project management. We have a waterfall. Waterfall is conventional, traditional approach. And that is where we have project managers. Is the predominant approach in project management for a long time up till now. This is where we have a lot of project managers coming. Then we have agile project management. This is the new ways of managing project management. And in this agile project management, this is where a lot of companies are now migrating from waterfall. When I mean migrating, they are moving from waterfall, which is a traditional approach, to agile approach, because agile approach gives more value. They have demonstrated to give more value than every other project management methodology. And in agile approach, they don't call project manager. They call project manager Scrum Master. So if you are an agile approach, there's nothing like project manager. So this is to tell you that if you're applying for this job, you must have agile project management skills. And agile, agile is just like they criticize everything waterfall is doing. An agile approach is the approach Apple Corporation used when they are starting. They would provide the iPhone, and they call iPhone 1, iPhone 2, iPhone 3, and people, they like people they receive reviews, feedback from people using their product. And what people talk about their product will determine how the next product will be. And that is agile. They are very flexible in approach, and it has helped a lot of people. A lot of companies like Apple took over the industry from Nokia that have been there for a long time. They came in and took over the industry. And so many other companies started following them. Today, all the companies you are seeing today, Facebook, Microsoft, all of them are using agile project management, agile approach. So waterfall approach is dying. Companies are migrating. Even companies that have not migrated, they have one leg in the waterfall and one leg in agile. So that is it. And they have so many roles in agile. They have Scrum Master, and they have a product owner. They have a development team. These are various roles that do exist within the agile project management. So if you are a conventional project manager, the company is telling you, we don't want you. Is that okay? Tricia.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. That was really clear and very detailed. Thanks.
So there's a lot of certification going on in agile environment. Like if you want to become a Scrum Master, you need to take Scrum Master exam and become certified. It's like me, I'm a certified Scrum Master. I'm a certified product owner. So I've taken 2 of their certification, you know, so that's it. So I can work anywhere. I can work in waterfall. I can work in agile. I can work as a project manager. I can work as a product owner. I can work as a business analyst anywhere. So, which I believe some of you are coming up. Once you start building, it's like a building block, getting confidence, you'll be there. So, thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. And as we are progressing, the class will be fun, will be more engaging, and we'll look at environment where not just learn, we learn, and we're happy to learn, because over the time, learning, education has been tedious, it's costly, and that's why those days when we tell a child to go to school, they start crying. But you can see kind of education where people will be happy, eager to go and learn, because education is fun, cost effective, and yeah, that is it. Thank you for joining, and
Thank you, sir.
we're going to still see tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Thank
Good
you. Thank you,
night,
sir.
everyone.
Good night.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
night. All right.
Bless you, sir.
So if you have not enrolled, if you are not enrolled in our course portal, by this weekend, the course portal will be closing. It will be closing because we want to start onboarding people to our project environment. We don't want where we start onboarding people to have other, it's not only course portal, we have project environment where we are going to be working. So we need to close course portal in order to open the project environment. So try as much as you can to enroll. And you have not signed up with Neara's platform, it's important you sign up to Neara's platform, and then verification will be going on in Neara's. You see verification. So for you to be verified user of Neara, you need to be verified. These are some of the activities that will start coming up very soon. So good night.
Nice, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Good night, sir.
Everyone, good
Can
night.
you possibly, for those that did not enter on time, help them to upload it on session that they watch.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, this is a recorded session. It's going very soon. You'll see them in a course portal.